Welcome to the Roots podcast presented by Elite Anesthesia. Today we have Kristy Maguire with us. Kristy, welcome. We're so excited to have you. Kristy is the office manager at Bell Medical in Bountiful. That's right. Thanks, Kristy. We're excited to talk.
I'm so glad to
Thanks
be here.
for being here.
Yeah.
How long have you been at Bell?
So I started as a patient 5 years ago. It wasn't until last year that the opportunity came up for me to be a treatment coordinator in Bountiful. We've really loved it.
Yeah, that's awesome. So you've been there for a couple of years.
Yeah.
You as a treatment coordinator / office manager, like what do you know or understand about running a medical practice that like the doctor or owner doesn't understand? Because you haven't been in this for a long time.
Yes.
I think it's probably more fresh and apparent to you than somebody who's been buried in like 30 years of
having like
experience.
Preconceived notions of things.
Yeah.
What I have found to really be of value to me in my role is my people skills.
Mm-hmm.
You don't get this personality from being the head cheerleader or something. Like I grew up a plus size kid,
Yeah.
a big family of 11. If you wanted mom and dad to remember your name, I mean, you had to be, forward facing and outgoing and loud. So,
Yeah.
but I've actually been a photographer for 15 years.
Oh, wow.
But just being able to work with people and listen to them and understand them, their needs and things like that, and capture those memories for them really helped me in this role, because I have different people coming into my office every day from all different backgrounds, all different needs of, how they feel uncomfortable in their skin, and just having those conversations. And where I feel it to be very vital in any job industry is to be able to not only sit and talk to people, but really listen and hear them, hear what they're saying, whether it is plastic surgery or, what you do or a cookie shop, what have you, just listening and hearing people out and then doing something with that.
Yeah.
I just feel like that plays a huge part in your day-to-day business. It comes from the top, how management then treats the staff, treats patients. For example, I just want to bring up, so our values at Bell our core values are compassion, vision, building trust, achieving potential.
Yeah.
Those are the things we hit in on. And I'm like, that is awesome. I love that. Our weekly sales meetings. So my role, treatment coordinators, we get on this group call with corporate every week and have these conversations. And I feel like I'm on some type of TED Talk or, something. It's just uplifting. And never have I felt less than uplifted and just supported.
Yeah.
So that's how I knew coming into this role that it's like, it doesn't matter what it is. I can talk to the people and I have the support of my coworkers and upper management. So there was no way I could fail. It's
hard to ask for more than that, honestly.
I am spoiled.
Not knowing Bell's like core values, and even I couldn't read them back to you, but like all of them resonate. I feel like I've had interactions with your guys' corporate team, as well as you, as well as patients and surgeons and doctors. And I feel like that is kind of top down. I've never felt contrary.
I agree that our culture is strong. Yeah. Our culture, but that's why we connected so well with Elite. Cause I feel like you guys are just an extension of us. I was telling Kristy this, your Utah scheduler is my best friend because she's a Kristy too. She's been fantastic, but everyone that comes into our office from your team, everyone, I almost hate to like tell this out loud. I want to gatekeep so that, no one else takes you away, but
we're not going anywhere. We're committed to you guys.
Yeah. But it just feels like you're just part of the team, because it seems like your values and just your culture just aligns with ours so much.
Well, just hearing you talk about the way that you feel your ability to interact and communicate with patients and people impacts like how successful you are at Bell, like really rings true to me. Yeah. I just feel I didn't set out to build this business. I feel like I kind of fell into it. It was something that was needed, and there was a big hole in this office-based anesthesia space, and kind of felt like it was my duty or whatever to like fill that hole, fill that need. And I've just always felt like if it's not good for the people that we're doing it with, like I just don't have any interest in doing it. and being able to connect with people based on what they actually need is like means everything to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope that resonates and goes top down for us. But I think, working with our providers and the people that we hire, and I know that they kind of feel the same way.
Oh, 100%. I mean, we get patients that I was just looking over our calendar with your scheduler before I came, and one of the patients, like I can see the notes in there from the other offices, and one of them was like, is requesting the same, team member or whatever. I think it was Marky Mark, but wants to make sure they have the same one. And they see you guys as part of us. They don't even realize that it's two separate entities.
Companies. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just.
And that's another thing that we try to do or believe in, is just being absolutely integrated with the offices that we work with, whether it's medical or dental or whatever it is. Like, we want you to feel that way. We want you to feel like you can call Kristy at any time and get exactly what you need. And that whether it's Mark or somebody else comes in, like, it's going to feel the same.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't, like, we want to know that.
Well, because you don't find that in every business. You might, a lot of times you'll go places like, oh, you got to see this guy or you got to see that one because that's the one cool one there. But it's like, no matter who we've had from you guys, it's just been a good time. The worst part about you guys is like, you put the patient to sleep. So like when I go to sleep for my procedure, I'm like, I can't sit here and hang out and talk with you. Or I can't, like, I want to go into the procedures and just hang out and talk. And I'm like,
well, we think that's the best part of what we do.
Yeah. No, it's great. We just love having you guys in the office. And the worst part is when you have to leave. So
yeah. What do you feel like the goals of Bell are? Like, what are you guys trying to do in the next, say, year to 5 years?
We're not looking to grow to be some drive-through in every state everywhere. We are just solidifying what we have and just trying to always do better, be better for our patients, and create an environment where people just want to come in and have those vulnerable conversations. One of my big goals as a office manager, whatever my role is to create an environment where, whether it's patients, employees, or anyone that comes in the office, to feel comfortable enough to speak up, whether it's something they have an issue with, or just to see something, say something, whether it's a compliment, good things, or just, I want everyone just to be able to feel okay to speak up. And so we're just, each day, each of those meetings we have every week, it's just making goals and just trying to better our offices, our communities. I think of how I can better my employees, my patients. If they're coming in for a consult and they're never going to book, I don't care. I just want to make sure that when they walk out, they feel better than when they've walked in.
Yeah.
Like the world, they're going to go out into the world. The world's going to do enough damage to them, negative, all that. But if at Bell, I can make sure that employee or patient, as soon as they walk out those doors, has felt better, whether it was 5 minutes with us or, an 8-hour workday.
Yeah.
Then I know that they take that home.
Mm-hmm.
And so what can that do?
Yeah.
That's just my perspective.
I absolutely love that. I feel like, management or the business has their objectives, and you overlook the people that are in them and the people that are giving the majority of their time and their life to you, kind of taking advantage of that. And I think, looking at somebody like that, like you're putting your time here in this workplace with me, trying to meet objectives that we have and do something awesome together, but you're putting your time with me, and I'm not gonna take advantage of that. Like, I appreciate you being here, and if you got something to say, you should say it. I care about it. I care about what you think. I think as a manager, sometimes I wish everyone understood that as a manager, you can't listen to everyone's ideas and implement them. Mm-hmm. You have to do what's better for the whole group. So it's kind of your job to filter those things, but that doesn't mean that doesn't matter.
Listening
to them
is
matters.
The key. Yeah. Letting them feel heard. So they want to come up with, I love innovation. I love, my ADD gives me lots of ideas, but
they're not all good.
They're not all good. Some of them are better than others.
You mentioned that, one of the most important things that you can do as an office manager, or one of your goals as the office manager with Bell, is to create an environment where patients and employees, or whoever walks into the office, including us at Elite, feels comfortable enough to be vulnerable. Can you expound on that a little bit and maybe talk about what that means and how you invite that into your office?
Yeah, absolutely. So something I'm always telling them, like in consults, you have questions, whatever, you're never bothering me. That's a phrase we use a lot. You're never bothering us. Whether you've just had a procedure and you're worried about this little tiny question, do I ask? We are big texters. So we make people feel like nothing is annoying to us. Even if even if it is something that might be emotionally draining, and we can vent that to each other, but we never let anyone feel like they're an annoyance.
Yeah.
Never, because everyone interprets their procedures, what they've gone through differently. So whether it's a consult coming in and they have a lot of questions, more so than others, or, I'm sorry, you're never bothering me. I love to do it.
You're not a burden. You're
right.
You're here
You
for
are
a reason.
never a burden.
We're here for you.
So then that as well for employees, like, I have a lot of unique health scenarios or home life scenarios. And I don't ask them to tell me details, but I want to know how I can help them. So I know each of their individual scenarios, and I'll cater that way, whether it's coming in a little later, doing some hours from home, or I know you have, seeing your mom doing this. So knowing that I'm their cheerleader, their supporter, helps them even more feel comfortable and not be like, oh, she's going to get mad if I say this or what have you. Or our patients who come in and have to bring their kids. That's real life. For us moms, we don't always have that. So I have things in my office that I'll go grab or blow up balloons or whatever I have to do, that they are never inconveniencing me. Your kid's screaming, making a mess, throwing my implants all over the floor. I don't care. You can't break them. Like, just never feeling like anything's a burden. Like, I'm just happy you're here.
Yeah.
And so that's what I think is also key for any office too, is like, for employees or patients, or I'm late or this, that, I'm just happy you're here.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you're here. So I think that's kind of been our whole vibe, and that just everyone's caught on to that.
Yeah.
So we can discuss things amongst ourselves, like, how do I handle this situation? Or this feels really hard to me. Great. Let's talk through it together as a team, but nothing is a burden or annoying. This is what we do.
That is very apparent just in our conversation. Like, it's got to be an absolute honor to work for you. Maybe we'd like to work for you someday.
Maybe.
Or at least work with you.
Yeah. Well, then you see our group text, and that's how we get all of it out. And it's so funny. We are so I told you our values, but we have these defining attributes too for Bell. Mm-hmm. And I love these because they're so us. They're so, you're sweet and you're complimenting me, but this is Bell. I just happen to just click right in. So the defining attributes are authentic, accessible, positive, credible, comforting, but my favorite is good humored. So you can laugh with them and at them. So, but just, those are all me. Like, it just made sense. And that's just what sets the stage for that type of environment.
Good humor is good because underlying it, you really care about them.
Yes.
That's what makes it all fun.
You have to be able to laugh.
Yeah.
You have to be able to laugh. And that is, something that is very important to me.
Yeah.
My body may be 42 years old, but my brain capped at about 17. So we have to have humor in the office for me to want to be there every day. So it's important, and our patients enjoy it, because it can be even just coming in for post-ops or things like that. It's a medical, I don't want people to dread coming in. I want them to look forward to it, even if it's a post-op.
I think that's one of the coolest things about this turn from hospital, traditional surgery center work to office-based work is you're able to infuse the office dynamics into the surgery and the whole process. Mm-hmm. It's not like, why don't you come to our office and get to know me and get to know my staff and get to feel the attributes and the values of Bell Medical, and then I'm going to ship you off to some surgery center where you get to feel like super awkward and nervous and you don't know anybody there. Yeah. You get to take care of all of that inside of your office. I think that's the best part about this shift that we're seeing from hospital and surgery center based surgery back to the office.
And we couldn't do that without you guys, right?
And we've got to be there to help.
I feel like it's my home away from home. People tease me because when you come into my office for a consult, you'll know I have one of those desks that raises up, and I have a treadmill under it. And so oftentimes I'll be at work on my treadmill or in my slippers Why not?
Yeah, I think it's awesome.
When I was given directions on how to find you, she's like, "Oh, you'll see the ping pong table. That's how you know." That's how you know.
We play more ping pong than most of this place.
And like at my
I'm
office,
not ashamed of it at all.
In my closet, when you walk in, is my rollerblades. So you may find me going through we have great floors for rollerblading. I am very pro mental health. So whatever it takes to make your day happy and fun, but it's just, like I said, we have a lot of vulnerable conversations in there. And even with our employees, just sitting there because we're so close now, I have to force those girls to go home. They come in on their birthdays. They come in on things, and it's just such a huge, it's a compliment, but it's really humbling to me that they want to be there, because I want to be there. And I think that, that might be part of where that comes from. But I just think as management, just being bought into your own company, it really resonates, just showing that we can get our jobs done and do a great job of it and be happy while we're here. I mean, you can't ask for more than that. I mean, it's these, and we recently had an ad out for an opening that we had, and my inbox, it was 100 a day. Wow. Of people applying just to work with us. And several of them were like, we're patients or things like that. Because I don't blame them. I mean, you come in, people comment like, you guys have a fun time. And that is my goal.
Yeah.
Like, then we're doing it right.
What about, so talking about employees and patients, the people that you work with every day, what about from you or the office manager and up? You've talked a little bit about the culture and the way that kind of management works with you. What do you, on the other side of that, wish that they knew or understood from your perspective as an office manager, treatment coordinator, that maybe they sometimes don't see as well as they could?
Well, what's hard about that is for them to not understand something. It would be hard for them not to understand us, because they are checking in so often.
Yeah.
I was telling someone the other day, so those calls that I'm talking about, you're on a Zoom and there's all the little heads, and there's not a single head on there I'm like, oh, that guy. It's like every one of them, like, oh my gosh, I love her, or I love this. Like, it's just, and I know that's not normal, and you can't expect that from every company when you have a mix of personalities and backgrounds and you're in different states. But I am really spoiled. So if there's anything that I can literally just text my boss right now, anything I'm thinking, like, hey, this is going on, and they'll do something immediately to at least hear me out, or at least give me better input. Like, okay, I see your point, but a lot of times it's this. It's like, I see your point, but we've tried this and this in the past, and here's why. I'm like, oh, okay. Like, I'm new, but I have ideas. And sometimes they're great, and they're like, yes, implement that, whatever you want for your clinic. Like, they just
super supportive.
Me. Yeah. They're almost like really hands off, to where I'm like, am I doing everything right? Like, it's just so supportive that they just give me that freedom and trust to know that I'm going to see my team and know what they need, or, as that role, like you said, it's your job to kind of filter out what you implement and what you don't. And
I think it's good to hear. I mean, I think the majority of our listeners are dentists and business owners. I think it's good to hear they all have office managers. They all have people that work for them. And I think what I'm hearing you say is like, that culture means everything for you to be able to have the freedom to push things forward. And whether they're implemented or not really isn't the point. It's that you're being heard on the things that the ideas that you have. For
sure. And that trust. Well, and just there's different roles that you can see as like being not more important than others, but I think it's important for managers or higher up to hear all the voices, or find a way to hear all the voices. Reiterate that every voice matters. We want to hear from you. We just want to do better and be better. And like I said, creating that environment where you can just speak up, or like, I'll be like, I'm just venting, or I just need to, put this out there. Or sometimes it's real things that we'll talk through, but I just think creating that environment first, then help that flourish, from that.
Yeah. I think I've seen that often. I think back to what you said earlier, like, it's really just giving people the ability to talk, and then, communication, whether you are actually going to follow through and implement something or not, doesn't really matter. It's just the fact that you're heard, and that you feel like the company or your leadership is here to support you and make this better, no matter what that means, whether it's my ideas or your ideas, doesn't really matter.
It affects turnover for sure. So if you're in an office where you have a lot of turnover, I think it's time to look inward.
Yeah.
Because I remember in my earlier years doing different jobs, retail and things like that. And just my brain just functions in a way that or doesn't function. The only way it does function is like creativity. That is the one side of my brain that works really well. And I had immediately started a job and already have ideas like, okay, you could be more efficient at this, or this could be more efficient. And just knowing that what I say doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. It's not going to get to anyone. Nothing's going to change. So I just won't say anything. And then that eats at you. Yeah. That you have nowhere to speak up. You don't say
it, but it doesn't go anywhere.
Right.
It stays and it
festers. Because you notice it every day. Like, man, I'm doing these 5 extra steps. It could be easier done this way, but I have no say. It's not going to get anywhere.
It's funny that you mentioned creativity. I feel like as a business owner, office manager, somebody that's in charge of something and people, I've never felt more creative than I do right now, where you can come up with an idea and do it.
Yeah.
It's kind of a fun place to be. I think it's important for all of us to.
It is really fun
to have.
I have to have people keep me in check though too, because it's like, squirrel every day. It's like coming up, but that's just my brain. I'll come home from work and my husband will tell me something and I'll try and immediately like give a solution. And he's like, I was just telling you something, but my brain all day is just like problem solve, innovation, problem solve, creativity. And so I'm like, oh, okay, I'll shut up. I'll just listen.
I can imagine that the people at Bell, there's nothing they want more.
Yeah.
I feel the same way. So,
but I do that because I feel like I can, right? Yeah. Something will happen from it.
You don't feel suppressed. You feel like they're open to hearing what you have to say.
Yeah,
it's important.
Exactly.
Tell me about how long has Elite been working with Bell?
I mean, it's been at least a year.
Yeah, I think I won't say it's about a year.
Well, because we started doing lipo and fat transfers, and we specialized in that.
Mm-hmm.
That was our thing. And then they added the GLP-1s, the injection, semaglutide, tirzepatide stuff. And we started getting patients in that were like, I've lost 100 pounds. I've got all this skin, and lipo didn't make sense for them. And so we just started adding on these surgical options. And then it just, again, because of that culture, our patients that come to us for lipo and for the GLP-1s and just were in the family, and we started adding these surgical procedures, they just naturally were just on board with us. They were in. And so we boomed a lot faster than we expected. And so you have to hurry up and figure things out. Like, anesthesia is not easy to find. I don't know if you know this, that you guys are like nationwide. It's something that's hard to find for how we're looking for it, right?
Yeah, office-based anesthesia specifically is very hard to find.
And then finding people that are cool, that's a whole other story.
Plus that,
So we started just booming with surgeries in our big office in Draper. And then that even got too busy. So I was like, hey, could I get some surgeons up here in Bountiful? And they trusted me enough to add that in our office too. And we have our other states that do it too. And so it was just so great to already have a team in place that was just so easy to work with. I was just given the details. So when I came on as the office manager, and so we're adding these surgeries, and they're like, all right, call Elite.
Yeah.
Call it, here's what you do. And it was so easy. I learned the hard way how good we have it with Elite. So don't get me wrong. I already knew you guys were amazing. Knew it. Okay. So we got into this moment in life where our big clinic was getting really busy with surgeries, and we were kind of that office was kind of hogging your availability, your providers.
Yeah.
Okay. So then here's Bountiful up here. I'm trying to get crumbs wherever I can get it. Yeah. And I knew we had certain dates to do surgery, all these certain dates. And I'm like, hey, and your scheduler was like, I can do this far out, because she's giving the other offices their time to reserve. And I'm like, I had this weird window of time where I wasn't assured, but I had surgeons ready to do surgery. So I'm like, hey, I'm going to have to call someone else. I'm going to have to find a backup plan.
Yeah.
So I find this other company to have them come on. So I start reaching out to them and quickly realize that because I'm just trying to communicate with them in a way that I have been used to working with you guys. Mm-hmm. Just so easy.
Yeah.
Like no big deal. So easy to work with, texting. Just so easy. Like I said, like you guys were someone in the office. Like, hey, what about this? Or hey, what about this? And then, so I try and do that with them. And then some little change happened in the calendar. And so then they call me and I get this whole sob story and this like guilt that I'm doing all these things horribly wrong. And I'm like, whoa,
they made you feel guilty.
Yes. I felt guilty. And this is how it needs to be done. And it's because of this. And we just don't have enough providers to make this, and this. And I'm like, whoa, I'm so sorry. I just thought this is how you did the anesthesia.
We're just trying to,
right? New to being a medical
surgery.
office man. Yeah. I'm just trying to get this patient to sleep. And so I'm like, okay, I understand. I get it. And so I was like, I'll just figure you out if I need you again. Well, there was this one date on the calendar that I'd kind of already had you guys booked. But long story short, I just had to utilize them. Yeah. I had to utilize them to just brush it off, get it over with.
Yeah.
Cut ties. But I had committed to a day and it had to be so many hours and it had to be, so it just.
They put a minimum on the number of hours that you had to do? Okay.
They would not, it had to be this many hours. So I put an employee on that day.
Yeah.
So I'm like, fine. Okay, we'll just make this work. So the one patient I had scheduled that day, I hadn't even thought about it. She had treated with us before. She was coming to do another procedure. So she hears from the other company the night before to check in, like you guys do too. And she calls me. She's like, who the heck is this company? And I'm like, what? She's like, where's my,
where my boys at? And girls.
Yeah, Kyle or something. She was like, where? I wanted Kyle. And I'm like, oh, about that. This is my fault. I just kind of told her, I dug this hole. You're going to be okay. You're still going to be in good hands. Assured her, hoping at the same time all was well. So they come and the anesthesiologist was super great, but the boss comes too, because it's a first time with us. So the boss comes and I'm not in as early as when they have procedure days. I'm not in as early as those girls are.
Yeah.
And so my one girl is texting with me and long story short, the owner had come in and was so kind, but he got her number.
Oh.
He gets her number. And she was trying to give him our office number.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, they're saying we need to get these for anesthesia and that we should have these. And oh, by the way, he's so nice and helpful. He offered me his number and I'm like, I bet he did, Brooke. I bet he offered you his number. She's like, oh no, he just wanted to help. I tried giving him Belle's number, but he just said that it should be. So I saw the text. Yes. So I'm like, what is happening? So the anesthesiologist later that day, like when the cases were over, I just told him I appreciate him. He was really great. And he's like, well, I'm just filling in right there. And I said, oh, you're looking for a job? Call Elite. Go to Elite. You want a great company to work for? Call Elite. And he kind of was like caught off guard, but he was a nice guy. So I hope he calls you. But
he hasn't called us yet, but I'm glad you said that.
He made me embarrassed by his boss. So then I hear back from them, so I don't say anything, just let it go. It's done. Patient's happy, good surgeries, fine, brush it off. Well, they write me back like a week later and they're like, oh, we're just checking in to see, if you had any other procedures you're wanting for us or how everything went. And I'm like, thank you. We won't be needing you guys anymore after your boss got my employee's number. That's it. And then and so that was like before I came into work, I responded on our phone from my phone. And then next thing I know, he's calling the office. The said boss is calling the office.
Oh.
And he did not sound happy. And my assistant was like, yeah, she's not in yet. And he's like, can I get her personal number? I'm like, this is the problem we had in the first place. You're not getting no more. You don't ask for women's personal numbers. And she's like, no, you can call back, whatever. He's like, I will, whatever. So he calls a few times, and I wasn't accusing anyone of anything. That's just not cool. That's just not cool or professional. Elite would never. Meanwhile, I'm personally texting with your scheduler because we're best friends. But anyways, so I learned the hard way not to do that again. So never.
Tell me like the scheduling process, what is it that makes it good? Like, what is it that working with Elite makes?
Even so I'm on the phone with your scheduler here on the way here, and she's just confirming some dates with me, just whether it's patient pay, office pay, and it's just that. It's just, hey, what about this? What about this? Or I'll just text in, what about this date? Because for me, I feel like I'm hurting blind and deaf cats because I'm dealing with
the hardest cats to hurt.
Yeah. Anything. I'm dealing with multiple surgeons, multiple schedules, preferences, patient needs, different offices, all that. I can't schedule them without anesthesia, but you guys need us scheduled, in order to book it, to make your schedule go smoothly. So, but she'll always give us whatever we need. I'll tell her in advance, here's some days that I'm looking at, like I have a surgeon available.
Yeah.
And I always get the time I need to get those figured out, or she'll call and check in. Did you fill this? Did you not? Or I might last minute be like, oh my gosh, something came up. Do you have anything available? Yeah, sure. We got someone for this, or just these hours. Great. I'll just book the surgery between those hours. Just so easy to where when I tried it with that other company, they're like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, what is this?
Too much flexibility.
I'm like, sorry.
Yeah.
Like, I thought this was normal. I thought you were cool. But I understand that for you guys, like I'm trying to be respectful of your schedules, but then we have patients that change things or they don't get the right, approval for their surgery. So I'm constantly changing on my end, but I've never, ever been met with like, seriously, like never has been a vibe where I've been an inconvenience. It's always like, what can I do for you?
Yeah.
That's how I've always been responded with.
I think we've always viewed this or understood. I mean, I think it made a big difference that like for the first years of this company, like me and our co-founder, Mike, like we were in the office with you. We understood what that meant to have this schedule that varied. We did the schedule ourselves. And so now to, I guess, teach other people that and hire other schedulers and have them understand what the dynamic is in an office like yours. Yeah. It's just a unique place. Like it's so variable.
Yeah.
And for us to be able to meet that, I think is what makes Elite unique. Plus the people are good.
Well, absolutely. Well, I even try and do that too. Similar in our office, like when people have to cancel a consult or something comes up with their surgery, it is never met with like, seriously, or like, that's going to be certain things do have fees, but like for a consultation, our consultations are free.
Yeah.
If you need to cancel, no big deal. Like this is real life. I get it. I'm not going to like fight you to come in. When you want to come in, you'll come in. So anyways, on my side, I mean, we understand real life and I feel like patients really appreciate that and they've returned for it.
Mm-hmm.
Because would you want to go back to a place that's like, oh, you couldn't make it in because you had this happen at work? Well, we're going to charge you $150 fee.
Yeah.
And then, you're going to call back and reschedule? No, you're not. So I feel like you guys are the same. You just
got to take care of people.
Yeah.
I think that's the difference.
Just do the best you can. Life's going to happen. So
yeah. If I remember right, you guys didn't used to do anesthesia in the office. Like you were doing procedures, but not, or maybe you were doing them under like some basic moderate sedation or something.
Just biting the stick. Yeah.
Biting the stick. Yeah.
No, well, like I said, we started doing all lipo and we did awake lipo and people handled it fine. But I love that we have the option now, which we're utilizing a lot more, having the anesthesia option for lipo for those patients who just want it.
Yeah.
Absolutely we can do it awake, but we have a lot of patients that just want it and it's great. It's
just
a great
rather
option.
be asleep.
But patients come in and they feel confident that we have, not only do we have a lot of options procedure wise, like whether it's less invasive to more surgically related, to then have more options for pain management, whether they go to sleep through anesthesia or we have different types of medications. We hear them out. Some people will be like, oh, I don't like this medication. It makes me sick, or I don't want to do this medication. Same thing with when you guys come in for the surgeries, from personal experience too, I'm a very nauseous person. My body just loves, I could breathe wrong and I'll get nauseous. And so that's something we talked about before my surgery. And so then they were able to put something in there that helped me with that. So just little things like that. It wasn't just like, oh, I'm going to put you to sleep. And just educating me, even, working in the environment I work in, to feel educated and comfortable that they know what they're doing and they just want me to be comfortable. And patients come in, I mean, I think for dental as well, no matter what it is, it's high anxiety. Mm-hmm. Like it can be stressful, no matter how big or small.
One thing, like, I think we're traditionally used to getting anesthesia and surgery in a hospital or in a surgery center. Mm-hmm. And more practices like Bell are starting to move procedures into the office. Yeah. And so it's just kind of I think we're in a place right now where patients aren't used to it. And so having that option for them is just something new to get used to. Mm-hmm. But overall, to do it without anesthesia also feels weird.
Right. Yeah. They love that they have the option. And we talk through that and what the would look like for their procedure day and how that would look. And I just, it makes me more confident in what I do, giving them that option rather than trying to talk them through, okay, we're going to have to do it awake, which is great too. People do it all the time, but I just love having the options for them.
You are obviously doing a really good job of it. I can tell just by talking to you. I've been in Bell. I've talked to our providers. Like I've talked to Kristy about it. It's a really cool culture and company that you guys are building. And it's been an absolute pleasure working with you guys. And I hope we get to keep doing it for a long, long, long time.
Can't wait till we have our office for you, your own office.
Yeah, so. Yeah, and we should do this
coming
again.
soon.
We should do this again in like a year and talk about
what the change has been. Where are you now? How it started, where it's going.
Yeah. Thanks so much for coming in. It's been awesome to chat with you.
Anytime.